Yeah, as a young child I was really into like Jean-Michel Jarre and stuff because it was like fresh electronic sounds. And the first record I ever asked for was like Oxygen, and I used to have a little toy organ and I used to try and copy the sounds, but it was pretty much impossible with an old wind organ. But just, I mean, sit and hum and try and copy the sounds with my mouth all day, just like all the little specialized details you would have in the background and stuff. And I remember seeing him on television doing with his like huge synthesizer with a million knobs on it, and I was totally fascinated. I knew that one day I was going to be having to be following in his footsteps and just tweaking knobs and making fresh sounds. As a young teenager I was pretty much into like Belgian based bands like Front 242, The Neon Judgment. They had a style going which was called like electronic, psychedelic electro cold wave, which was really deep, underground, industrial, electronic Belgian sound, which it definitely had an edge for me over any other kind of music because the sounds were so fresh and the rhythm patterns were very different. I was also into like American style breakdance and hip hop music, and at a certain point in time these two seemed to be combined. We had tracks like Al Nafish Hashim and stuff, which were like very European electronic sounding with like American beats and stuff, and that was very influential to what I'm doing nowadays, the electronic sound with like very funky rhythm patterns.
My influence was I think the Beatles, because the way they work, because at the time I know what I got, the equipment, the modern equipment that I use, and I know what they used at the time, like only a 4-track mixing board, and you know, the way of working, because they have to cut everything. Now we have samplers and everything, and I really have a big respect, you know, for these guys, because they're really amazing at that time.
Really used to be into bands like The Art of Noise as well, because they were working with like two Fairlight samplers and really experimenting on artful sampling, not just blatantly stealing sounds, but really like sampling pretty much any kind of waveform, from like animals, natural sounds to like industrial sounds, and not so much working on the original sound, but really like taking it as far as they could by filtering it and sticking it through all different kind of like effects and stuff, and coming up with something that sounded completely mad.